Good day, everyone. My name is Olawa Midoluwashi, and you're welcome to another episode on Daily Insight Podcast. I believe you have been blessed by our previous podcast. If you have been blessed, kindly subscribe to the YouTube channel for the video file and also the Telegram channel for the audio file. The TikTok account is also available in the link below. Kindly press the link and subscribe to it. For the Telegram channel, it will lead you to the catalog of all the podcasts we've done so far. If you are new here, and if you have been blessed, kindly share with your friends, with your family, with your colleagues, and everybody around you that needs to hear insights and a revolutionary series that we are having on this podcast. So this morning, what are we looking at? We are looking at one of the most powerful topics that I know will bless you, will enrich you, and advance your personality. All right, yesterday, let me do a little bit recap. Yesterday, we discussed about the path of opportunity, and I said something profoundly that opportunity is disbursed by God's mercy. God ensure that He give us the privilege of opportunity so that I can prepare us for season. Opportunity is given for you to elevate your life. I remember something that Tunde Onakoya said. He said, talent is universal, but opportunity is not. And talent cannot be maximized if opportunity is not in line, if opportunity is scarce. There is so little you can do with talent without opportunity. Opportunity gives you a platform to to refine your talents, to deploy it, and also to help people, to help humanity, to bless people with it. So you need opportunity. And I said seasons prepare people for seasons. So there's always be a season of preparation that will precede the season of your manifestation. If you miss the season or the opportunity to prepare yourself, to refine yourself, you will automatically miss the season of manifestation because you will have nothing to manifest. You understand? So if you are here to listen to that podcast, kindly check it is on our social media handles and listen to it. So this morning, I want to move straightly to the business of the day. We are discussing the power of exposure. And like I said, we are throughout the month of June, we are on the series of extraordinary life. We are on a journey to make a meaning out of our life, and I would like you to join all the series that is coming on daily basis. So the power of exposure is a very powerful topic, and I need you to understand that historically and also biblically, there's a pattern that is consistent in transforming an individual into world-class figure, regardless of how messy their background is. It's a structure, is a pattern, is a trend that ensures that regardless of how messy, regardless of how drowning your background is, there is a system of balance that God has put into the systems of the world that anyone from any cubicle or any corners of the world can attain unimaginable height in life and in destiny if you understand the power of exposure. I get what I'm saying now. It's a very powerful principle that once you get it, you have get it forever. And the second thing I want you to understand about exposure is that it's a necessary experience for every human being because life doesn't revolve around you. So it is a necessary exposure is your right. Your destiny deserves exposure. Your vision, your aspiration, your desire, everything, your ambition, everything you want to become require a level of exposure. And I'm going to be showing you what this exposure is, because one thing you must know and understand is that the earth embodied limitless resources. The earth embodied limitless resources, and until you get to certain places, you cannot see certain things in certain perspective. I get what I'm saying. You cannot see certain things or you get to some certain places. The earth is like mineral resources. It is strategically distributed in places, and until you get to those places, there are things you cannot see, there are things you cannot know, there are things you cannot touch, there are things you cannot experience. I get what I'm saying now. So it is disease, is a disease, and is a plague for a man to live within a locale and die within that locality. That is not God's plan, because if you check the blessing of dominion, you will always see multiplications. It's a spread across. So this is talking about horizontal expansion, horizontal expression. God wants. Do you know the reason why God gives us the blessing of diversities? So that we can all leverage on individual strengths and individual values and virtues that can help us maximize our potential to the level that can bring glory to God. Are you getting my point now? So it is because of these factors that makes exposure a necessity, is a necessary experience in the world of men. You get that? So when a man is rightly exposed, his mind experience a radical shift. Like I said, exposure is a system of education. Exposure is what? Is a system of education. What we go there, and don't worry, when we get to one of our series that I want to talk about education, I'm going to be telling you the limitation of formal education, because one thing you must understand about education is very vast. There are people that said, Mark Zuckerberg hopped out from school, he didn't finish school. Okay, he didn't finish school. Do you know where Mark Zuckerberg was living when he hopped out of school? There are places that it is equivalent, the exposure there is equivalent to you that is in a school in another territory. You cannot compare Mark Zuckerberg not going to school in New York, in the heart of London, in the heart of USA, and compare to somebody that is in the bush, outskirts of the world, attending maybe one or two, classroom that even the curriculum does not meet the requirement of the new economy. So do you understand? So there are some places that the exposure, the temperature, the atmosphere there is equivalent to the knowledge that you'll be taught in school. I get what I'm saying. So exposure is very powerful, is a necessary experience. And one of God's system of balance is an opportunity of exposure. I call it the system. That system of balance is going to be our July series. It's a system of balance. What do I mean by this? Is that regardless of what is against you, or regardless of what you are unable to achieve all by yourself through the decadence or the inability of people that give birth to you, exposure can make you attain that equilibrium. It can help you to come into that balance to the ends that you will not even find the gap. So exposure is there to close the gap of background, is there to bridge the gap of background, bridge the gap of inadequacy of choices that we are not capable, that we are incapable of making. For example, now, you are not the one that determines where you were born. You are not the one that determines the people that raised you. You are not the one that determines the environment you grow into. But even though you don't have power to determine all this, exposure can help you bridge that gap. I get what I'm saying. So if you maximize the power of exposure, you will look back and you will not even recognize that you came out from this messy background and messy state. Are you following me this morning? So it's a very powerful principle that I want you to understand. So let me run through others. Every destiny is at the mercy of what is exposed to. You must understand what you are exposed to, and you must know the value of things you are exposing your mind to. It must be an intentional pursuit. That is, there are two things I want you to understand about exposure quickly. And number one is, it must be an intentional pursuit by placing premium value on systems, atmosphere, people that has the capacity to elevate your life. You can't be exposed by mistake. It must be an intentional pursuit. The same way we are pursuing your academic excellence, the same way we are pursuing to get married, the same way we are pursuing every other, the same way you are pursuing your finance, you must pursue to be exposed. Exposure is a pursuit on its own, and you cannot pursue an exposure if you don't place premium value on the impact of exposure in your life. I get what I'm saying now. That is number one, and you must pursue it in the right place. You must pursue systems. That is why God said to Philip to join the chariot. The chariot that God said Philip to join is a moving chariot. Many of us are joining stagnant chariots. We are joining stagnant communities, stagnant systems, stagnant churches, stagnant church. You are joining a system or an institution that is not moving, yet you want to move. If movement is your pursuit, you can't afford to join a system or a structure or a pattern or a community or a people that is not moving. I get what I'm saying now. And number two, you must know about exposure is that it must resonate with your vision. Exposure becomes destructive when it sabotages your unique expression of value. There is a side effect to exposure. There are many of us that what you want to do and what you are exposed to, they were contrary to each other, and that is self-destruction. That is self-sabotage. You are going to be sabotaging your strength. You are going to waste your energy and waste your resources, because your exposure must be aligned with your vision. You can't be a businessman and you now strategically expose yourself to politics. It doesn't work that way. You can't be in two places at the same time. So if you are into tech, expose yourself to top voices in tech industry and learn through their works. If you are into business and or you are starting up in business, expose yourself to business seminars, articles, books, conferences that will help you to emerge a great voice in that domain. If you are a pastor, attend church planting conference, administration, management, revival, finance, administration, etc. Expose yourself to things that aligns with your vision. If you are into fashion, learn latest ways of doing fashion from professionals, from top voices and everything. Every industry has professionals, middle class figure and startups, and you can only climb ladder to becoming an authority in your field by learning from the best. How we come out, there is a pyramidal structure of relevance, or let me call it the pyramidal structure of monopoly. For you to rise to a level whereby you can hegemonize the existing institution, you must know how fast you can move from the bottom of the pyramid to the top of the pyramid. I get what I'm saying? And you cannot move from the bottom of the pyramid to the top of the pyramid if you are not learning from the best. Stop learning from mediocre people. Stop learning from mediocrity. I get what I'm saying? Our world is repulsive to mediocrity of any kind. If what you are carrying, if what you are producing is mediocrity, people are going to find a better alternative and you are going to be left behind. People does not have time to tolerate mediocrity, especially at the expense of their income, at the expense of their hard-earned money. You can't expect you to want to buy something and I'm negotiating the money that is coming from my sweat with something that is produced by a mediocre person. So that is where we ourselves, we always want to buy from the base. We always want expertise to handle our things for us. We always want people that are competent to handle our things. Do you get it? So you cannot afford to be mediocre. Exposure gives you a way of doing old things in a new way, and that is what is called innovation. You cannot innovate without exposure, because exposure will challenge your whole way of doing things. Are you getting me this morning? It gives you what? A new strategic way of doing something. So it is time. Exposure is an intentional pursuit, and you must place premium value on it. If you don't start doing this, you are going to be a local champion, and being a local champion is underutilizing your potential. It means that you are kicking yourself at the back, and that is a problem that a lot of, especially third world citizens that we are having. Don't set is you can. I think I read the book, and that book said, I think Shakespeare said something in one of his books. He said, once the mind of a man is stretched by a new idea, it cannot go back to its original state. So your mind is like a rubber. When you stretch it, you are stretched. You cannot go back to your original length again. That means you have been stretched. That is what exposure does to you. There are things that doesn't need prayers. There are things that doesn't need fasting. There are things that doesn't. What you just need is going to certain places where certain things are working. Why do you think our politicians are going to different, even though they are not maximizing what they were going there to do? Why do you think people are traveling from different country to another country? Because they are there to learn the atmosphere, to learn, their system of doing things, to see their infrastructure, and they go and replicate the same in their own country. That is how God has designed life to be. God does not design life to revolve around an individual or to revolve around. There are places that Americans were investing in that are not America, but they find the soil of that continent, they find the soil of that country, they find it valuable, and they were investing in it. I get what I'm saying now. That is why people travel from different countries to another country, because they are finding relevant things that is working, the infrastructure, the system, the political system. It can be the academics, things that are just working for them that they can replicate in another territory. So what exposure does for you is that it exposes you to a level of excellence that you can replicate in your own ecosystem. I get what I'm saying now. If you don't have this and you don't intentionally position yourself for this, you are going to be jogging very fast into yesterday, into irrelevance. And by the time change comes, and like as I'll be teaching all these things by next month, as change comes, if you are not restructuring your way of doing things, you are going to be irrelevant. You are going to architect your inheritance all by yourself. I hope you have been blessed this morning. I hope this short podcast has blessed you. Kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel and also the Telegram channel to catch up with every of our podcasts. Thank you so much for coming out this morning, and God bless you. Bye.